Stories have a lot of aspects to them. The characters, the plot, the themes, there are so many things to enjoy about them. But a lot of stories have a vehicle to which all of that is essentially tied to get the audience's attention. It's where the fun comes from. In video games, I believe this is called the primary gameplay loop. I don't know what it's called when you're watching a TV show, so I'm just gonna call it the primary spectacle. In most battle anime, this is, well, the battle. But in non-battle series, this is a lot more varied. Blue Lock has football, Kaguya-sama has its mind games, Kakegurui has gambling, any number of police procedurals have the investigation. This YouTube channel has me analyzing anime and cartoons with a particular bent towards the point of view of what was the writer thinking. In essence, this is the thing that the viewer knows is going to happen over and over again and draws them to the show. Of course, you could be drawn to any number of things through recommendations to you, but on average, most people started watching Naruto because it's about magic ninjas. I wanted to like God's games we play. A story about playing supernatural games with bored gods in an attempt to gain a wish sounds intriguing, especially because while it could have battles, the very first game in the show specifically has a god whose game is usually about fighting, deciding, you know what, I'm bored, let's play a very convoluted version of tag instead. On top of that spectacle, the games also come with a bunch of rules, conditions, and allowances that allow it to try and be more unique than anything else like it. If you play the games, you get superpowers to help you win, and if you win, you get to use them in real life. Sure, the structure involves trying to deduce what the rules are and the secrets the games may have in order to figure out what the win condition is. Even better, everything else is basically just extra that has to prove itself. The main character has the power to essentially undo anything that happens to him, and the female lead is a god in human form with unfathomable power. Well, those all sound like get out of jail free cards that make the MC even more special than everyone else, but they can still be salvaged, especially the former. What immediately comes to my mind is a hypothetical game where to compete in the first place you have to essentially let the god affect you, but if he can't control his power, then he will be at a disadvantage compared to everyone else. As for the female MC, yeah, she's kind of basically just a buff for their team. But you see, me and this anime have problems. Before the animation, the dialogue, the plot, this anime just needs to get the audience to enjoy watching the games. And sorry to say, it just stopped short of really getting me to enjoy it. And I suppose my first issue starts before the first official game, with the icebreaker done between the main characters as they get to know each other and try to fish for information. The main premise is simple. Leoleshea is a god who's been sealed for millennia and has lost a lot of her powers. Fay is an up-and-coming rookie at the gods games. They want to know what the other's intentions are, and plot-wise, this is about communicating that they both really love games and getting them to want to team up with each other. The game is about matching cards, so you can ask questions such as name, hometown, etc. But what they're really aiming for is the wild card that will let them ask any question. In order to keep the game from just being one of memorization though, Leoleshea uses her powers to make them fly and spin around the room.
まさか軌道と速さが全部違う。
お、気づくのが早い。全カード軌道が違うからどういう回り方をするかは私も知らない。
That's not what's happening. They have this whole explanation about avoiding memorization in the game, but it's not really true. They still memorize where the cards are, and the fact the cards aren't spinning the way it's described really outs the whole thing as being superficial. Also, they probably should have mentioned that they were aiming for the wild card before they really got into it, instead of just explaining why they were aiming for it the moment it was found. We're not even aware it's an option until they find it. You see, the game and its narrative purpose are good, but it's got a problem of execution. Ultimately, it's functionally the same as if the cards stayed on the ground, just shuffled in a way the characters can't immediately memorize card placements. But the whole, I guess the word is spectacle, the spectacle of having them spin is interesting, but the explanation for the spin just doesn't match what we're seeing. And honestly, I kind of have a worse problem with the first official God game, even though it's kind of a completely different one. Now, in all honesty, this is a great conflict. The clues actually make a lot of sense despite the fact that the directing doesn't really allow it to be communicated that well, and the big twist had me going, wait, that makes perfect sense. It went quite well up until the end when the god just stopped trying to win the game so it could stare at the main character explain the rules and how he planned to win for like 2 minutes, even though he could have won in 5 seconds by knocking down the remains of the building the MC is standing on. A building he just hit, but pretty much it decided, you know what, no, it's not time for me to just completely fall over yet. The main character straight up says, I'm trying to distract you, and then begins shouting signals to his teammates, and the god just continues to not do anything for 20 seconds. It's honestly insane. And then once the main characters have the advantage, the building goes, oh yeah, right, I just got hit by a giant stone mountain. Down I go. Honestly, I think it says a lot about how much I enjoyed the game that I actually still recommend this anime if you like puzzle style shows that give you clues as to the answer and can stomach some flawed execution. If you ask me, they should have explained the rules before their final play, then explain their plan after they won, and not have the god just go AFK. And the funny thing is, the second god game is better about everything, except the puzzle isn't as good. They better explain the logic of their plan as it happens, though they could have done more to connect the dots. We should probably be getting a lot more of an internal monologue from Fay, because as it stands, I feel like a lot of people will watch this and go, wow, what an asshole. And this game does begin to shed light on one of the show's thematic ideas: the inherent contrast between the spirit of enjoying games and the mindset that the reward and punishment system fosters in people, combined with some character work. By following the primary spectacle, we've gotten to see more and more of what the show has to offer. The second game is about trying to get the god to say a word, and supposedly the word is different every time, and the main character is really locked out that this word was ouch and not something that isn't a response to pain. I've seen nothing to convince me this game is winnable if the word is, say, orange, or if you don't have an extremely powerful dragon goddess on your side. If anything, the structure of the puzzle undermines the point the main characters were trying to make, because Leoleshea being overpowered gives them the comfort necessary to get everyone else disqualified to win. Like, the point is to make these people not be so mad about your new teammates accidentally getting their friends permanently disqualified from the games, and your plan is to just get them all disqualified without thinking, then win yourself? What? Ultimately, I like the show's primary spectacle, but be it via animation, directing, or even writing, the games so far have fallen short of their full potential, with issues that keep the payoffs from being fully satisfying. Plus, the way the games have gone so far, I find myself going, so the main character, who's supposed to be a super gifted rookie, just would have lost if you didn't have a goddess helping him, right? And these issues will either be ironed out as we go forward, or become more problematic. But what did you think of God's games we play? Tell me your thoughts in the comments down below, and don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more content. Thank you, and good day.